In this tutorial, I'm basically going to be taking an article from Vendari.net, which is a blog or a website created by a UCF digital forensics program graduate to raise awareness of internet security and digital forensics development and other areas related to that. So I'm just going to use one specific post from Vendari.net. It comes as the digital forensics file signature analysis. So one thing that you may encounter as a digital forensics investigator is you may encounter a file that's labeled as, say, an Excel file, but using your forensics tool such as FTK or InCase, you export that file so that you can examine it, and you notice that the file is not able to open because the program, so the Excel program that you're trying to open it with, does not recognize the data in the file. And so what you can do is you can look through the file signature and you can find what type of file it is by looking through the file signature. So I'm going to go through this article here on Vendari.net to talk about file signature analysis. So first it talks about what is a file signature. The file signature, the analogy that this blog uses comes up with using a t-shirt. On the front of a t-shirt there's a graphic file extension that may be a Nike swoosh. But anyone can buy a t-shirt and iron on a label, just as anyone can rename a file and change its extension. So that's really the main reason that you would encounter this, that a suspect or piece of evidence has been changed, the extension. So in the scenario I was talking about a moment ago, we have a file that looks like an Excel file, but we can't open it because it's not really an Excel file. We need to figure out what kind of file it is. And it wouldn't be a good use of time to sit there and try to guess what type of file it is, because there is a extremely large number of file types. So what we can do is we can look at the file signature. So the program that you may use, InCase, it has a built-in function called signature analysis. So when you're running the signature analysis from InCase, it's going to go through and check file signatures on many files in the system. And again, it's on files. It doesn't do this on folders. It does not do this on internal structural data such as your file allocation tables, your master file table. And it does not do it on deleted or overwritten files. That doesn't mean that you can't still do this type of analysis manually on a deleted and overwritten file, and I'll go through a way to do that here in just a moment. And then it doesn't do it on invalid cluster files. Once InCase completes the file signature analysis, there's 4 potential results. So it can say there's a bad signature, there's a file alias, it's a match, or it's unknown. So right here it starts with a JPEG image standard. The beginning file signature should look like this. So your hex code should be FFD8FFE0. So I'm going to jump quickly to a website here. And you can see I've already pulled up this JPEG file. So look, we see a JPEG image should start with FFD8FFE0. Same thing, we look over here, FFD8FFE0. And if we wanted to look up maybe our Excel file, XLS. So if it's a true Excel file, it should start with this D0CF11E0A1B1 It's not really practical to remember all of these files. Maybe you remember the most common ones, like the JPEG. It's short, and you can probably kind of remember it if you end up getting into this work and you're doing it often. But let's get back and talking about the possible results when you're running the file signature analysis. So the first thing is a bad signature. So a bad signature result in InCase says that it recognizes the extension of the file. So in our case, it recognizes, hey, this is XLS. We know what that is. That's an Excel file. But the file signature is completely unknown. So they don't know what the file signature is. So it has some file signature that InCase doesn't have in their database. So they know that an Excel file should have something like any of these options here, or even XLSX. So it recognizes the extension, but it does not recognize the signature. So it says bad signature, and the examiner would not be able to really draw any conclusions based on the tag, but since the examiner does recognize the Nike swoosh and knows only associated with Nike t-shirt tag, so we can say that it's a bad tag. So in our case, in the Excel example I'm giving, we could see that the file is named as an Excel file, but it doesn't open in Excel, and it does not match an Excel signature. So the tag, the signature of that file is bad. So we're not going to be able to do anything. The alias results says that InCase understands the file signature and it understands the file extension, and that they are not a match. So in our case, if we had an Excel file, let me see if I can just create an Excel file real quick. I'm going to pause it. Okay, so I have here in this folder a real Excel file. So you see it says real Excel file, and it's a .xlsx. So say I've recovered this evidence from a case, and I wanted to examine the evidence to find out the contents of the file. So I double click this, and this is a real Excel file, so you see it opens in Excel. I see this fake PNG. Looks like it's a PNG image. So if we were to do a file signature analysis, PNG should have this file signature. And so say that I've validated that, go to open it, and it opens in an image editing software that it should open in. Then I have this fake XLS. So I just now created this, so I know it's not a real Excel file. So let's see what happens when I open this. I get an error from the application saying it doesn't match. It's the file could be corrupted or unsafe. Don't open it unless you trust it. So I'm going to hit yes, and looky there. That's nothing useful at all. So what we would want to do, we would do our file signature analysis, and we would figure out what type of file this really is, and we would make a copy of it, and then we could rename this file. It's actually a PNG file. I'm going to say yes, I want to rename it, try to open it, and look, there's our file. So that's how the file signature analysis can really be beneficial for you to open a file that you can't find. And so that's the alias result. The other two results are a match. So a match is when it's the file extension matches the file signature. So that would be the case of our real Excel file or the initial fake PNG. The file type and the file signature match, and so there's no problems. And then the unknown result is an easy one to identify and grasp. In this case, InCase is stating that it does not have defined entries for either the file extension or for the file signature. So something like that could be if it was a file type that InCase did not have the signature for, plus someone had gone in and changed the the file name or the file extension. So there is no file extension .yrb. So if I try to open this, I'm going to get a message from my operating system saying that, hey, I don't know how to open a fake .yrb file. Alright, and so it'll go out there and search the web, and they'll say, hey, there's no way to open one of those files yet. So that's the file signature analysis, and then the tool that you can use to get file signature data and extension information is this filesignatures.net. They have hundreds and hundreds of file signatures, so it looks like at least 18 pages. And then the great thing about this database is you can actually submit new signatures, since there are always new application files coming out. You can help contribute to the knowledge base here, and that's it. So hopefully this has been helpful. Thanks.